And people sort of have fun with my work because they try to identify the objects that are in it. They, oh, there's a piece of a rake, and there's a piece of a plow, and that kind of thing I find really fascinating. You can give it another life and another existence.
Every week, we hit the road to tell the stories of the people, places, and events that make Hunt County great. These are our friends and our neighbors telling their own stories in their own words. Stories worth knowing and sharing. These are the stories that make us proud to call this place home. And around every corner, we find something else that makes us want to celebrate Hunt County. This program would not be possible without the support of our generous sponsors. Thank you.
I've really enjoyed teaching and working with students and being kind of part of something and working with young people. I find that invigorating. And I had a really good teacher. And this is so important, I think, for any young person, young artist, or any student, to find that one mentor that really gets you focused. I was supposed to take sculpture as a part of my degree requirement, and I was kicking and screaming, big attitude, 20-year-old guy has. And he said, well, do you want to learn how to weld? I said, oh, if I have to, sort of attitude. And wow, he set me up with the welding equipment, and boy, half an hour later, I changed my major. I mean, I thought, whoa, this is for me. And it was just like that click. You can have a life in art. It is possible. And some people get very discouraged by their parents, which I was. But you really have to kind of believe in yourself and be willing to take some chances. My wife and I both became interested in birding. Early on, actually, my mom had bird feeders all the time, and I thought that was cool, but I never really paid much attention to it. I got some cheap binoculars and a cheap little field guide, parallel to the color issue that pops up in the sculpture sometimes. Or see color combinations that occur in nature, and specifically in certain kinds of birds, that I think is kind of interesting. And so that thing that seems so unrelated to art or unrelated to sculpture has really made my life richer. I grew up in a very outdoorsy family in Michigan, and hunting was a big thing, hunting and fishing, and I began to realize that bird watching is like hunting, but you don't kill anything. That it's strictly you observe it, and in a sense you own it by being able to see it and being able to identify it, yet no harm, no foul, everybody's happy. And I kind of like that. I think what inspires me the most at my vintage is to keep producing, to be involved in art, have a life in art, is probably just pure stubbornnness. That you just don't want to give up. Lately, I've been using a lot of tools, steel elements that have had a function and have been discarded. And I kind of like the idea of rescuing these things and giving them some aesthetic purpose. And people sort of have fun with my work because they try to identify the objects that are in it. They, oh, there's a piece of a rake, and there's a piece of a plow, and that kind of thing I find really fascinating. You can give it another life and another existence. You'll see color and pattern, and hopefully a kind of a joy. I've always felt that my pieces were likable. There's something kind of magical about it for me, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's the idea, I think, of fusing two things together that normally wouldn't be together. It's a kind of building process. And the fact that you can take these disparate objects and stick them together, and make something out of them, and whether it transcends its an individual identity and becomes something greater than itself. I'm Jerry Dodd, and I celebrate Hunt County.
If you liked this story, help us celebrate by sharing it with your friends and family. Our stories appear on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and cable TV on Juice 34. You can also find us online at celebratehuntcounty.com. If you'd like to suggest someone to feature in our program, email your idea to stories@celebratehuntcounty.com. We also want to thank our sponsors for making our storytelling possible. We hope you'll support the hometown businesses that keep Hunt County strong.
Family is very important to us, and that's why we wanted to bring family to our business.
We tell folks that at Home Texas Real Estate, we work as a team and we're all working together to try to sell your house, or we're all working together to help you find the right one that you want to buy.
With At Home Texas Real Estate, it's our family helping your family.